Welcome to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. It's time to once again bring to your attention two great fiction books. But first of all, I would like to thank all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. I've gotten several new subscribers. Thank you. Keep up the good work. And on Facebook, I have a lot of people liking my videos as well too. So tell your friends, your book-loving friends, and hopefully the numbers will spread, and I'll spread the gospel of great books because I've got two more must-reads. The very first one is The Last House on the Street by Diane Chamberlain. This is published by St. Martin's Press, and it retails for $37.99. Diane Chamberlain is certainly known for her great fiction, and this book is among her best. It is set in two time frames, 1965 and 2010. And it goes back and forth involving two women. The first woman is Kayla Carter. She has moved to town with her daughter Rainey. They were building the last house on the street with her husband, who was an architect, and unfortunately he had an accident in the house and he died. So now Kayla is by herself with her daughter Rainey. Now she meets a neighbor, Ellie Hockley. Now, as we find out, as the book goes into parallel time from 1965 and 2010, we find out the events in 1965, how they affect 2010. Ellie Hockley was part of a group called Scope that at the time was getting black voters registered. She was part of a group that traveled, and at the time in the South, it was a very tense time. There were a lot of racial tension. Ku Klux Klan was definitely holding court, and they were intimidating people. So when Ellie went to join the organization, all her family and friends were against her, saying, no, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be registering black people, let them be. But she persisted, and she was very, very impassioned into doing this, and she wanted to, and she fell for one of the people who she met. His name was Wynn. He was a black man, and once again she was intimidated, and so as the story goes, we find out what happened to her. And one particular night where there was a confrontation, and the Ku Klux Klan came and they attacked Wynn, and they tied him to the bumper of a car and dragged him into the night, and he was never seen again. So as we find out in 2010, there are some still secrets in the town. People knew what happened that night, but they were always afraid to tell the truth. So Ellie and Kayla are two very interesting characters, and the parallels of life, and this is taken from real life, what happened back in the 1960s, unfortunately. So if you're looking for a really interesting book that is definitely filled with tension and filled with great characterization, The Last House on the Street is one of the first books that you should pick up when you're considering new fiction to read. The second book of interest is The Bone Orchard by Sara A. Mueller. This is published by Tor, and it retails for $35.99. Now, this is definitely a different kind of book. If you like a book that's sort of creepy, suspenseful, and filled with mystery, this is Sara Mueller's debut novel, and it is an explosive debut novel as well too. It's different. So if you don't want the traditional run-of-the-mill fiction, this one is definitely one you should pick up. It involves a woman by the name of Charm. She owns a place called the Orchard House in a city called Boren. Now, that's Boren. And in the house, it is like a gentleman's house, where it's like a brothel. It's a gentleman's club. They come to play. They come to get together. And the women who are part of the group, they're cultivated in the bone garden, and actually they're bone ghosts. Now, Charm is the one who infuses her soul into the ground to make the bones come to life and become real people. And 5 of the women in the group are their names are Pride, Pain, Justice, Shaman, and Desire. And there is a mind lock on Charm, so she really does not have freedom. But the Emperor, who comes to the orchard house quite a bit, he tells her on his deathbed, he has been poisoned, and he says to her he wants her to solve the crime as to who poisoned him. He suspects it's one of his sons. Now, if she can figure out and finger the person who has been poisoning him, the mind lock will be taken off and she will be free. So it's definitely, there's a lot of secrets here in this bone garden as we find out. And it's sort of creepy undertones of like not exactly Stephen King, but that type of very subtle horror. Like, it's not a horror book per se, but it is a book that's different. It is a book that has very interesting people. You will fall in love with the character of Charm. Hopefully, if Sara A. Mueller decides to do future books, that she will add Charm into future stories, because she's definitely a character that you do want to see more than once. So if you're looking for a book that chills you to the Bone Orchard is definitely the second book that you should be picking up. So those are the 2 books that I wanted to draw to your attention. Hopefully when you're out shopping for your fiction titles, these 2 will be at the top of your list. So as always, I thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. Spread the word. Get your friends to watch my videos too. They're not too long, so if you can tolerate me for 7 or 8 minutes, hey, go for it. So anyways, I will see you again real soon. As always, I say, stay safe, stay sane, stay social distancing, and do stay in touch. I'll see you again real soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.